Hello everyone, welcome to Faith Inspirations. So this video is a follow-on from the video on taking your vision to the next level and taking steps of faith to do that. So I received a revelation this week that I want to share with you to encourage you along that journey of taking your step of faith to that next level. So I watched a movie this week called Ride Like a Girl. Now, this movie is based on a true life story of a lady called Michelle Payne in Australia. So she is a horse rider and she comes from a family of 10 children. They're all horse riders, very passionate about horses and the whole thing of jockeys. So anyway, she from the age of 5 had the dream to get into the Melbourne Cup and to win the Melbourne Cup. Even though I have to say that no woman had been in the race. I don't believe any woman had even been allowed to enter into the Melbourne Cup race, how much more to win. Anyway, that was her dream. And her father was her manager, her teacher. So her father began to teach her about horse riding and basically how to win. And one of the things he said to her was, when you're on that race, and there are so many horse riders on the race, he said there comes a spot that is called a sweet spot. Now, he said, if you can identify that spot and you can take the opportunity that comes with the spot, and you're pretty much guaranteed to win. Now, this sweet spot is a spot where a gap opens between the horse riders. And he said, if you're able to identify when that gap opens, because that gap will open very quickly and close, if you can identify it and take it, then you will pretty much win. And basically you see then Michelle, she basically fights her way through life in order to finally make her way into this Melbourne Cup competition, which is like amazing. And I have to recommend that movie, guys. If you're able to watch it, do watch it, because it's really amazing, very motivational, very powerful. So anyway, she finally gets into this competition, obviously the only woman in there, and you basically see as along the movie where in the race, as she's going, her father is also watching the race as well. And there comes to that spot now, this sweet spot, and it's only herself and her father, I think, that really knows about this. But anyway, in the movie, as she gets to that spot, this is what the father says. It's like a slow motion in the movie, and the father starts speaking. And this is the revelation that I want to share with you, because I feel like this is something that we can all really learn from. And he says this, that suddenly a gap opens, and that's God talking to you. You better listen to God, because he will close that gap quicker than you can say your mother's name. So, this was the father saying to her that the gap opens, and this is God opening the gap for you, but you must take it very quickly because it will close. And anyway, in the movie, Michelle finds the gap and she takes it, and basically she makes history. She wins the race. But then the interesting thing about this is, as soon as she took the gap, the father knew she had won, even though it wasn't obvious at the time that she had won at that point. So at that point in the race, nobody could see she had won because she was still trying to make her way forward. But because the father knew exactly that process and he had taught her, and she took it, as soon as she took the gap, he pretty much rested and he was like, yeah, you found it, girl, you've won. And I'm sharing this with you because I really felt that the Lord is speaking to us, and he's saying that this year 2020 is a sweet spot. This year 2020 has a gap. I was talking to my sister this week, and she mentioned, without even knowing this movie, she said to me, she said, Faith, I really believe that 2020, this year, has a gap that if we go through that gap, we will break through. Things will happen in our lives that have never happened before. And as soon as she said that, I just immediately connected it back to this movie, and I knew that was God speaking. And so, guys, I want to say to you that there is a gap, this gap that is being talked about. I'm just going to read this again. Suddenly a gap opens, and that's God talking to you. You better listen to God, because he will close that gap quicker than you can say your mother's name. So guys, there is a gap, and that is God speaking to you to take the gap. 2020, guys, is a gap year, is the sweet spot. So as we've been talking about your vision and taking that step of faith, I really want to encourage you, whatever steps of faith God has put on your heart, there is an opportunity, there is a gap. take it, because that gap will come with unusual favor. It will come with acceleration. It will come with just things happening that perhaps haven't happened before. New opportunities that we didn't even know existed before. This is the time it's all happening. So guys, I just really wanted to alert you and to say that there really is things happening in the spirit. The Lord is saying, this is a sweet spot here. This is the gap. The gap is here. So guys, take that gap, take the step, and I really believe that you will be coming back with your testimonies in Jesus' name. So I just, I hope this has encouraged you. So it's exciting that we're still in 2020. I know that it's been a crazy year, but guys, I want to say that in the midst of the craziness, there are things going on underneath. And that's why I'm trying to call you to look beyond the surface and to look underneath, to look behind and to see what God is really doing in this time and in this season. Do not be distracted by all the things going on. Take the opportunity, take the word that the Lord has released. There is power in the prophetic word. It has been released. This is a year of reset, a year of promotions and restoration. So take it. And my revelation today is, this is a gap year. This is the year that there is a gap. And if you take that gap, you will win. It may not look like it as soon as you take the gap, as soon as you take the step, it may not be immediately obvious, but heaven has recorded it, that you have taken the gap and the opportunity, you have taken it, and it's almost like winning is guaranteed. Your success is guaranteed. So guys, God bless you, and hope you've enjoyed the video and you've learned something as well. So God bless you as you take your steps of faith this week and the weeks to come. And please, again, do share your testimonies with me and leave me some comments as well. Okay, well, have a good weekend, and until next time, take care. God bless and bye.